Good morning, sweet friends. Happy Thursday, the 19th of June. Got my workout in. It's all done for the day. You guys done? Well, actually, it's not. I'm going to a 6 p.m. cardio drumming class, so I take it back. It's not done for the day. Crap. I didn't almost just say a bad word, even though my lips went in them. I was excited. I was excited to say I was done my workout for the day, but then I just realized I'm signed up for a cardio drumming class today. I got my shirt, Erica, from Corinthians Corner. And if you look on my Facebook page, I did a reel yesterday. There's a link. Is it yesterday? There's a post somewhere on my page where you can get a discount on them. I really like it. I love their clothes. Cardio drumming is drumming while you get cardio. It's drumsticks and what do you call those giant exercise balls? Those great big exercise balls on a stand with drumsticks. It's mostly upper body, and it's like it's all beat, it's all rhythm drumming. So I'm gonna try it out tonight because it sounds fun. And then tomorrow I have my trainer, which will mean that I have worked out every single day this week. Some were just walks, which is awesome. Today I've done a 3-mile walk already this morning, and I've done strength training. I will have done strength training 4 times this week. And you guys, to be honest, it's the wisdom challenge that I'm doing that is really motivating me to do this. Like the wisdom challenge that I've been working through, like it is really keeping me motivated. So I'm excited to roll it out to you guys in August, probably in August. Yes, it is almost my birthday, Lois. 2 more days. Potentially have a friend coming over and we're gonna go shopping, maybe. Waiting to see, but possibly gonna go spend the day in Charlotte shopping for stuff I don't need, but you know, I need some nice outfits to wear to retreat. Yeah, it does feel good, Meredith. I hate to admit it. Man, I hate to admit when I was wrong. Oh, Tammy, it is a long road, but you know what? It will be a road worth it. And at the end, he'll be feeling so much better. He'll be feeling so much better. We're still praying for him. All right, my loves. June 19th. Jehoahaz rules in Israel. 2 Kings 13, 1 through 7. Jehoahaz, son of Jehu, began to rule over Israel in the 23rd year of King Joash's reign in Judah. He reigned in Samaria 17 years, but he did what was evil in the Lord's sight. He followed the example of Jeroboam, son of Nebat, continuing the sins that Jeroboam had led Israel to commit. So the Lord was very angry with Israel, and he allowed King Hazael of Aram and his son Ben-Hadad to defeat them repeatedly. Then Jehoahaz prayed for the Lord's help, and the Lord heard his prayer, for he could see how severely the king of Aram was oppressing Israel. So the Lord provided someone to rescue the Israelites from tyranny of the Arameans. Then Israel lived in safety again as they had in the former days. But they continued to sin, following the evil example of Jeroboam. They also allowed the Asherah pole in Samaria to remain standing. Finally, Jehoahaz's army was reduced to 50 charioteers, 10 chariots, and 10,000 foot soldiers. Then the king of Aram had killed the others, trampling them like dust under his feet. End of Jehoahaz's reign, 2 Kings 13, 8 through 9. The rest of the events in Jehoahaz's reign, everything he did to the extent of his power, are recorded in the book of the history of the kings of Israel. When Jehoahaz died, he was buried in Samaria. Then his son Jehoash became the next king. Jehoash rules in Israel. 2 Kings 13, 10 through 11. Jehoash's son Jehoahaz began to rule over Israel in the 36th year of King Joash's reign in Judah. He reigned in Samaria 16 years, but he did what was evil in the Lord's sight. He refused to turn from the sins that Jeroboam, son of Nebat, had led Israel to commit. The end of Joash's reign, 2 Kings 12, 17 through 21. About this time, King Hazael of Aram went to war against Gath and captured it. Then he turned back to attack Jerusalem. King Joash collected all the sacred objects that Jehoshaphat, Jehoram, and Ahaziah, the previous king of Judah, had dedicated along with what he himself had dedicated. He sent them all to Hazael, along with all the gold in the treasuries of the Lord's temple and the royal palace. So Hazael called off his attack on Jerusalem. The rest of the events in Joash's reign and everything he did are recorded in the book of the history of the kings of Judah. Joash's officers plotted against him and assassinated him at Beth Milo on the road to Silla. The assassins were Jozachar, son of Shemeath, Jehozabad, son of Shomer, both trusted advisors. Joash was buried with his ancestors in the city of David. Then his son Amaziah became the next king. 2 Chronicles 24, 23 through 27. In the spring of the year, the Aramean army marched against Joash. Bassy, no, hey. They invaded Judah and Jerusalem and killed the leaders of the nation, and then they sent all the plunder back to the king in Damascus. Although the Arameans attacked with only a small army, the Lord helped them conquer the much larger army of Judah. The people of Judah had abandoned the Lord, the God of their ancestors, so judgment was carried out against Joash. The Arameans withdrew, leaving Joash severely wounded, but his own officials plotted to kill him for murdering the son of Jehoiada the priest. They assassinated him as he lay in bed. Then he was buried in the city of David, but not in the royal cemetery. The assassins were Jozachar, the son of the Ammonite woman named Shemeath, and Jehozabad, the son of the Moabite woman named Shomer. The account of the sons of Joash, the prophecies about him, and the record of the restoration of the temple of God are written in the commentary on the book of the Kings. His son Amaziah became the next king. Hi, buddy. Yes. Hi to you and your carrot. Elisha's final prophecy, 2 Kings 13, 14 through 23. When Elisha was in his last illness, King Jehoash of Israel visited him and wept over him. My father, I see chariots and charioteers of Israel, he cried. Elisha told him, get a bow and some arrows. And the king did as he was told. Elisha told him, put your hand on the bow. And Elisha laid his own hands on the king's hands. Then he commanded, open that eastern window. And he opened it. Then he said, shoot. So he shot an arrow. Elisha proclaimed, this is the Lord's arrow, an arrow of victory over Aram, for you will completely conquer the Arameans at Aphek. Then he said, now pick up the other arrow and strike them against the ground. So the king picked them up and struck the ground 3 times. But the man of God was angry with him. You should have struck the ground 5 or 6 times, he exclaimed. Then you would have beaten Aram until it was entirely destroyed. Now you will be victorious only 3 times. Then Elisha died and was buried. Groups of Moabite raiders used to invade the land each spring. Once, when some Israelites were burying a man, they spied a band of these raiders. So they hastily threw the corpse into the tomb of Elisha and fled. But as soon as the body touched Elisha's bones, the dead man revived and jumped to his feet. King Hazael of Aram had oppressed Israel during the entire reign of King Jehoahaz, but the Lord was gracious and merciful to the people of Israel, and they were not totally destroyed. He pitied them because of his covenant with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and to this day he still has not completely destroyed them or banished them from his presence. 2 Kings 13, 24 through 25. King Hazael of Aram died, and his son Ben-Hadad became the next king. Then Jehoash, son of Jehoahaz, recaptured from Ben-Hadad, son of Hazael, the towns that had been taken from Jehoash's father, Jehoahaz. Jehoash defeated Ben-Hadad on 3 occasions, and he recovered the Israelite towns. That felt short. I guess it was. You guys see this dog? Love me, please. Love me. Don't be reading. I need you to love me. right? Yes. Okay, take your carrot. All right. We are on Pots, Pans, and Pirates. Pots, Pans, and Prophecies, page 68. We're at the bottom. One of my favorite verses is Psalm 19:14. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in your sight, O Lord, my strength and my redeemer. What we think and what we say are important as we walk in this journey for the Lord. When we meditate on things that have been revealed to us about the character and nature of God, we grow in our relationship with Him. Our words will reflect that revelation. We will profess the promise the way it was given in our heart. Mary professed the promise to Elizabeth just as Gabriel spoke it to her. Read this familiar passage of scripture found in Matthew 18:19-20, and think about the value of a true friend and mentor who will take the time to intercede with you in agreement. Again, I say to you that if two of you agree on earth about anything that they may ask, it shall be done for them by my Father who is in heaven. For where two or three have gathered together in my name, there I am in their midst. After reading and meditating on this verse, write your own thoughts concerning the value of having a mentor in your life and making yourself available as a mentor to someone. We are vessels in God's house. We have been made clean through our relationship with Christ. We are yielding ourselves to His service. We are accessible to His plan and available to Him. One way that we can be successful in our journey and in obedience is by allowing ourselves to be mentored and encouraged by a true friend and a fellow disciple of Christ. As you journal this week, remember it is vitally important as you yield your life to God's plan that you hold tightly to your revelation of God. It is important that you profess in faith, the promises you are holding in your heart. I have the hiccups. Your mentor and friend will help you to see God clearly and encourage you to hold on in faith to the promise that will be manifested through your life of obedience to God. Ask God to help you know when you need a mentor and lead you to that one He has chosen for you. Ask Him to help you receive from them as they walk with you. Then also ask Him to help you know when you are chosen to be a mentor and allow Him to prepare your heart to pour into that one who needs you in their journey. When you receive a promise, guard it in your heart carefully. Profess it to a trusted believer who will encourage you and mentor you through the journey you have begun. And if someone shares their personal promise from God with you, you prove to be that trustworthy friend and mentor. Remember, the value of a true mentor cannot be measured. Okay. Oh, my legs is sore. Oh, fun, Jan. We want to go to the beach. I want to take a weekend trip to the beach, but Bessie, I only know a couple of beaches. One, according to my family, there's not enough to do there. And that's Oak Island. I loved it there, but they think there's not enough to do. And then Myrtle, and I love Myrtle, but I think there's too much to do because it's so expensive. And I just want to go get in the water. They want to go do things, and I just want to go get in the waves. I love to just float in the waves. So I should check into Topsail. What's there to do? Is that a good combination of things to do and nothing to do? Because that's what I want. I like to go to the beach just for a weekend and float. Just float. I like to just get in the water and float. That is the only thing I care about doing when I go to the beach. All the fun dinners and all the fun activities and all of that stuff is great, and I enjoy some of it, but I just want to get in the water. And you know that part of the water where you sit and the waves just do this? That's where I want to go. That's my happy place. I am never as at peace and content, and I can't even explain it, as when you hit that perfect part of the ocean where you're just doing this. That's it. One time, After doing that for too long, I was really, really dizzy. It makes me really dizzy in a good way. It's like an ocean high. I I was still at my heaviest weight and I tried to get out of the water and I lost my balance and I hit the ground and I rolled over like butt over tea kettle, as they would say. And my husband was like, "Do I help? Do I laugh? Do I help? Do I laugh?" I went over and then I stood up and I went over again. And by the time I finally got upright, I was way down the beach. I must have looked like just. How long do you have to exercise to not be sore anymore? You will always be somewhat a little bit sore because you're continuing to tear and strengthen, tear and strengthen. So if you're getting good workouts, you're going to have some level of sore always. But the sore I feel now is like, oh, my leg is sore. Like even after just a few months, it's not unbearable. The first week, I couldn't get on and off the toilet. Like it was unbearably, miserably sore. And now I don't have that. I still get some level of that, but not, and it's gone the next day. That's the difference. This sore is from Tabata yesterday. By tomorrow morning, this sore will be gone. That's the difference. Where before it would last me like 4 or 5 days. Oh my gosh, Lois. That had to hurt so bad. Oh my goodness. When did that happen? Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. That sounds so incredibly painful. Oh my gosh, I cannot imagine getting a fish hook in the eye. 17. Look, for those of you on Facebook that can't see her comment, it says prayers for Mary, my 17-year-old who got a fish hook in her eye. Doctors don't know yet if she will be blind in that eye or not. Oh my goodness. That sounds terribly painful, Lois. Praying for Mary for sure. Oh my goodness, that sounds awful. All right, girls. Well, let's go ahead and end in prayer, and then we'll make some breakfast together this morning. God, our Father, thank you for this day. Thank you for loving us. That's all. Thank you for loving us. Thank you for loving us when we don't deserve it, for loving us the way you love us. We're so grateful and feel your love and feel your presence here today. And God, I lift up those here to you today that are struggling. I think of Drew in the hospital post heart cath, and I pray for him and I ask for strength for Nikki and for his family and quick healing for Drew, and that this be the final issue he encounters with his heart. God, we also pray for Tammy's husband. After his heart surgery this week, I just ask for strength and healing for him as he recovers and walks through this difficult road of recovery towards a healthier version and a version that feels better. And I lift him up to you and I ask for strength for Tammy. God, we also pray for Mary and just ask for your divine intervention there and ask for complete healing of her eye and no vision loss for her and for just to heal her, God. And I can't imagine the pain that comes with that. And I ask for your strength for all of them and for a complete healing for Mary. God, as we go through this day, help us to make choices that are honoring to you, choices that you would want us to make for our body, that treat our bodies the way you designed them to work, and heal them and strengthen us. In your precious name, amen. She was bent over her younger brother and tried to cast the line, and it hit her right in the eye. Oh my gosh. He's struggling with guilt. Poor guy. I had a friend who her boys were outside. They were just little, digging a snow tunnel. And one of them had a shovel that had like a metal ring. You know how the end of a shovel will have a metal like ring around it? And he was shoveling and he brought the shovel back and hit his younger brother in the eye. And that ring, rusty old metal ring, took him right here, that perfectly round circle, and cut his eyelid from one side to the other. Never touched his eyeball. Can you believe that? Cut his eyelid. Never touched his eyeball. Every time I think about that, I cringe. It's such a miracle. Never touched his eyeball at all. He had to get stitches, obviously. It took a lot of healing. Not one bit of issue to his vision. Our eyes are incredibly, what's the word? Not resilient, but they heal in ways that you would never imagine. So I'll pray for her for sure. We'll all be praying for Mary. Oh, I can't imagine a fish hook in the eyeball. I can't even get to handle getting sliced by a kitchen knife. Like, oy. All right, girls. Well, this morning, breakfast on my menu, because again, following a menu is probably something that I'm really not in the mood to eat, to be honest, because girls, this menu has a lot of oatmeal. Who wrote the menu, KJ? Yeah, you did, KJ. Why'd you put so much flippin' oatmeal on it? Kefir overnight oats. I did not make. We'll do a take on kefir overnight oats together this morning. If you can give me a couple of minutes to gather myself. And then we will make some kefir overnight oats in a hurry that do not have to be overnight, because that's easy. They don't have to sit overnight. I've learned that if you make them right. So we'll do that together. And if you don't join me, well, that's okay too. I love you. Thanks for being here for devotions. And I will see you all back tomorrow again for devotions. I do love oats. I've just had them every day for like 12 days, Lois. I'm getting a little oated out.